Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Unscripted. And today is December 17th, and we are coming at you with much better vibes than the last time you heard from us. Michigan State took down Baylor yesterday, number six Baylor, 88-64, in an absolute rout. It was an absolute rout. The Spartans played their best game of the season, no question. It was just something else to see. It was something we haven't seen from this team all year. It was really the team we expected coming into this season was what we got yesterday. So, Johnny, I'll start with you as usual. Get some of your thoughts. What did you take away from the Baylor game?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, obviously a much needed win, but honestly, more than win, just the performance itself, just coming out and dominating from the start was just you haven't seen that all year. I think we talked about the last two games, Wisconsin, Nebraska, like the defense not being there. I think that totally flipped, right? I think we had 15 steals, if I have that right.
Yep.
Unbelievable. Walker, I think Walker had five, Hogard with three. Just being really active on defense, I thought was a real difference. And then changing that into transition and running, getting back to the DNA Michigan State basketball was one of the main things I took away from the game.
Yeah, I thought that was so important. Obviously, the defense, they forced 21 turnovers, the 15 steals, like you said. They also had six blocks. So defense was going at it. And another thing that we talked about from the Nebraska game specifically was this play of the five position, the big guys. And they really looked like they responded in a very good way, I thought. Um, Cooper played, or I'll start with Sissoko. He started. He played 19 minutes, only 4 points, but he had eight rebounds. So really getting back to a good number in the rebound statistic for Mahdi that game. And then Cooper, 13 minutes, 8 points. That was a career high for Carson Cooper. They said on the radio that it was six going in, and he had eight, 3 for 3 from the field, four rebounds. And then another thing we talked about, Xavier Booker, he got into the game, he played 8 minutes. Still like to see that maybe get a little bit going more. Just personally, I think I'm excited about him, but he played 8 minutes, 7 points, was 3 for 3 from the field, 1 for 1 from behind the arc. Did not get a rebound though, but overall the centers combined for 19 points. And I forget what was the rebounding statistic. I wrote it down. 29-20 was the rebounding as a whole. So Michigan State bigs really dominated. They played their behinds off. They were high energy, high motor all game long, and you could just tell that Izzo really got after them this week in practice, and they responded.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Nebraska, Wisconsin, the center position wasn't good, and Izzo came out and said it right away. And yeah, they responded. Getting that type of production, which we haven't seen all year, is huge. And sometimes it doesn't have to be through the box score, right? The points, but just adding that defensive ability, right? Baylor have some great bigs, and they had the pick and roll, and I think you saw what Mahdi can give you defensively, and Cooper, and then Booker obviously still has a long way to go, but having his upside and ability, the athletic frame he has, can just cause issues. And his minutes, I think, will go up over the next couple of weeks. I think there'll be times to give him a chance to develop, but no, the defensive from the front court was definitely much improvement.
Yeah, and one of the things I noticed with Booker was the lineup that Izzo was putting him with was Walker, Akins, Hogard, Hall, and Malik Hall. So you're not putting Booker in with Cooper or Sissoko, and I think that allows him to play more the style that he wants to play and give him a little bit more range down there in the post. Um, and then the other big storyline I thought from this one was the shooting.
Hmm.
Obviously, all year Michigan State has really struggled, especially behind the arc. They shot 66% from three, 8 for 12. Tyson Walker, 4 for 4. Tyson had 25. Um, yeah, the shooting was great. Holloman was able to knock down two threes. Hogard, I don't think Hogard shot any three. No, he was 0 for 1. Akins was 1 for 3, but just seeing that number get back up there and as a team shooting that well. And also the shooting kind of went hand in hand with the start. They got red hot off the bat. and didn't have to play from behind. And you see, like once this team didn't have to play from behind, they they were amazing.
Yeah, and I think, to not play from behind, right? You're able to bring that energy right away. They brought the energy. You saw that. And then to keep on it, right? Keep that pressure up. You saw Hogard, you saw Walker, how emotional the game was for them. And I think that really just took it to another level. They realized they haven't been playing what they should be, like what, the preseason said. I think Hogard had a quote about that in the presser, but just that ability to score. And I think you saw the pick and roll, a lot of lobs, which was great to see, right? Getting downhill and then Hogard be able to finish at the rim. He looked very confident. And it just opens up, like you said, the 3-pointers, getting open looks. And Tyson Walker, I mean, we keep saying it, one of the best scorers in the country, and getting him started like that, 4 for 4 from three, just gives everyone else opportunities as they have to force Walker out, and it ended up with a huge win.
Yeah, Tyson Walker is something else. I would love to tell you right now that he's the best player in the Big Ten, but the best player in the country is in the Big Ten. So, yeah, Purdue, we'll focus on them again later. They are something else. But yeah, the energy, I wanted to talk about that specifically with Hogard. Hogard is a guy who like so he in the last 3 games, I guess numbers wise, he's been way better than at the start of the year. He's getting progressively better. I thought this was his best overall game. Um, not statistically, he had 14 points, 50% from the field, but 5 assists, 3 steals, 5 rebounds. He was doing a little bit of everything, offensively, defensively. He was being the manager out there that we are accustomed to see from him. And with the energy, going back to that, Hogard, when he's having fun out there and he's smiling and he's just got that big ear to ear smile when he's having fun out there. And when he has fun, he plays so well and the team just looks like everything comes so easily. And everything was opening up like you were saying. And Hogard kind of seemed to take charge of the leadership role, but do so by having fun. The team looked like they were having fun yesterday. And obviously, when you're up 45-17 at halftime, you can come out in the second half and have a little bit of fun, but they're still playing Baylor. And Izzo's not going to let them go out in the second half and just slack off. So it was great to see that, obviously getting the lead in the first half and holding on to it throughout the game. But just the energy and just having fun. Because obviously, with a rough start to the season, parlayed with the expectations and being the number 4 team preseason, they haven't had really looked to be having any fun when they play. And yesterday was really the first time it looked like they were having fun. They were just having fun.
As you guys know by now, we've partnered with BetMGM Sportsbook for this college basketball season. We're going to be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks and predictions throughout the college basketball season. And we are going to have special offers for you, the listeners and the viewers on the Field of 68 each and every week during the season. If you haven't signed up with BetMGM yet, use the bonus code FIELD1500 and you will get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager on BetMGM Sportsbook. Here's what you got to do. Download the BetMGM app. Sign up using the bonus code FIELD1500. Deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game. You will receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if that bet loses. Just make sure you use the bonus code FIELD1500 when you sign up. And remember, BetMGM is now available under one wallet in select states. As a New Jersey resident, this is super convenient for me when I have to go cover games in New York or Philly. When crossing state borders, just log into your existing account instead of having to create new accounts in each state that you go to. And most importantly, I got to let you know, we do have some fun stuff coming up for this college basketball season. Bet insurance tokens, college hoops odds boosts, my personal favorite, parlay odds boosts. So download the BetMGM app today.
Yeah, no, you're right. You just saw almost like getting off to that lead and just taking a layer of pressure off of them once they got into that lead and got really into Michigan State basketball. And you started with Hogard. His leadership really showed yesterday, his ability to take charge, right? And when he's playing well, everyone else plays well. Everyone looks to him, right? As Walker's the guy, he's the scorer, but Hogard's the real leader of this team. And when you see that, people respond, and it was just great to see. But to talk about some other stuff, I think Cohen Carr, right? You talked about the freshman, you talked about Booker, but what Fears and Carr are going to continue to bring this year, it's going to keep getting better, right? Carr's athletic frame, right? I don't know if you saw the defensive play on the weak side where he came up and like swatted an alley-oop attempt was
Hmm.
just, I don't think anyone else can do what he just did.
No.
And then just Fears coming in 4 assists, playing sound basketball. I think Izzo's going to really find this rotation and the groups that work best together. And, it's going to be an exciting stretch right now as he continues to develop that.
Yeah, I fully agree. And Fears, like you said, and Fears and Carr just keep getting. It's not yeah, it's not like super easy to tell, but you can't like they are progressing a little bit. Carr specifically on defense, I feel like is getting a lot better. We talked a lot about it after the was it the James Madison game that he was not not existent, but he's gotten better and better defensively. And something else I wanted to touch on was the atmosphere in Detroit. Um Obviously the Lions had a primetime game last night, so there was some energy with the game being in Detroit and the city was buzzing, but it had the atmosphere of a tournament game. I mean, being in Detroit, who there will be regional semi there's Midwest Sweet 16 and Elite 8 are in Detroit this year at LCA. So I mean, I thought the atmosphere was great. I knew a lot of the people. I knew some people at the game, and they all said it was spectacular. And obviously, Michigan State fans are going to travel to Detroit, so it was essentially a home game. But I thought the atmosphere was great, and they got to bottle up that energy from that game and how much fun they were having and the positive energy and stuff, and just have it every game. I know it's easier said than done, but if they can do that, I just think they'll play so much better.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things the takeaways from this game that can be moved forward with this team. But yeah, it's just playing free, playing with that fun attitude, right? That hunger, which we haven't seen all year. And I think he knows that and he's got that with this team. And I think, this as this continues to develop, right? The bench continues to develop. I think they had, what was the bench total points wise? Can't remember, but like Trey Holloman having 11, Carr adding the points, Booker adding the points. It's just the roster is going to continue to develop, and this is starting to look like the team we thought it would be.
Yeah, State had 35 bench points. I didn't see, I just did that math in my head, but 35 of 88 is a pretty solid percentage. And another thing I want to touch on is that's so important in showing the depth when Malik Hall, who's probably been Michigan State's second best player so far this season, only shot the ball twice and had 5 points. And it just wasn't an issue. Malik didn't have to be aggressive like he was in the Nebraska game. And Akins as well. He was 2 for 6 for 5 points. I mean, not terrible 2 for 6, but he just didn't have to. Wasn't really called upon that much. He didn't feel like he had to. He had the bench, the efficiency two off the bench. Carr 2 for 2, Booker 3 for 3, Cooper 3 for 3, Holloman 4 for 5. That's that's perfect basketball. That's
Yeah,
you can't put a value on your bench being that efficient.
yeah, you don't see that very often, but just looking forward, right? Game tomorrow versus Oakland. Then I think it's Stony Brook and then Indiana State over the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Right before the Big Ten gets back going. Some good teams there, but an opportunity for Trey, an opportunity for Fears, Booker, Carr, these guys to get some more minutes and just continue to look like, just add something to this team and as they shape towards the Big Ten schedule.
Yeah. So, um, like you said, Oakland, Stony Brook, Indiana, all home games, and then Penn State to start off Big Ten play, and then they'll travel to Northwestern. So that's the next five for the Spartans. I mean, obviously, if they play like they did yesterday, they'll win all five of those games. But you just got to take it one at a time. Obviously, with Oakland, we talked about it a little bit before we started recording. Senior guard at Oakland, former Spartan Rocket Watts, is back at Oakland, I guess. I mean, it's just another storyline. It'll be fun. Rocket, I feel like he has a good relationship with Izzo. I like since he's left, I feel like I've seen him tweet some stuff about like positive stuff about State. I could be off on that, but that might be mixing him up with someone else. But yeah, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. at the Brez, Oakland and Michigan State. Yeah, I don't really have much more from this game. I mean, Tyson was amazing. Hogard, best game of the season. Trey Holloman, so good off the bench. We need to keep talking about him more throughout the season goes on, and I think he's just going to keep giving us reasons to.
Yeah, totally agree. I feel like we always skip over him, but he's the way out he went from his freshman year to sophomore year is just unbelievable. He always had the defensive ability, but now he's continuing to knock down shots. You saw him yesterday get to the basket, a couple of really tough finishes at the rim. It's hard to play when you have Walker and Hogarth in the front backcourt, but just having him and Fears to come off the bench is just so crucial.
Yeah. And so overall, Spartans are 5-5, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they are all the way back after that Baylor game. We'll have to see. Game still to be played. It's still hell of a lot of season left to be played, but a massive, massive win for the Michigan State Spartans yesterday. And yeah, I guess I'll touch a little bit on Baylor. One of the things I had actually that I did want to talk about, or not really a little bit, but a stat I wanted to drop was Baylor came into the game shooting 43 or 52% from the field and 43% from three. They shot 48% from the field and 31% from three. So that perimeter defense, those guards for Michigan State, just another stat to show you they played so well defensively yesterday. They've got active hands. And again, it's not just Walker or Hogarth. It's Walker, Hogarth, Akins, Holloman, Fears. It's all of them. It's everyone. So really good to see those numbers. It's very encouraging game for the Spartan fan base. And yeah, I think we will wrap it up with that. Johnny, do you have anything else?
No, I mean, the boys were up for the challenge, right? Top ranked team, undefeated, one of the last teams in the country, and they accepted that challenge and they took it right to Baylor right from the start. We'll hope to see this team going forward right tomorrow night against Oakland and just one game at a time.
Yep. So with that, I think we will get out of here. Thank you everyone for listening. Go follow us on Twitter at unscriptedpod68. Follow me and Johnny. Our Twitters are in the bio. We'll see you guys next time.